the bizarre food of Outer Worlds. I'll be honest. I played Outer Worlds. I don't remember anything about the food. So, yeah. It's just, something I think everyone should know. I don't remember anything about the food on there. But, yeah. I'm kind of interested in how some of this food is made. It's probably going to be horrifying in some way or another, considering how the lengths people in that series went to make new toothpaste that apparently actually tastes good. Listen, I played through a bit of the game. It's interesting. The problem I had with the weapon designs is a lot of them didn't look cool to me, and most of them were just repeating and had different stats. Not really one of my favorite things they do with the game, but that's my personal take on that. But you're not here for me reviewing the game, you're here for me reacting to what kind of strange foods they have in the game. Someone come by and kill a kill with Sonic 3? Partition. How did that happen? Why did that happen? Who did that happen with? Anyway. We're going to end this and see where exactly it goes.
This video is brought to you by Squarespace. This is a cysty pig. This one in particular is named Bubbles. Cysty pigs are perhaps the most grotesque example of corporate-designed livestock. Genetic pig creatures engineered to grow enormous bacon-flavored tumors on their necks, which periodically...
Oh, God! Yeah, that's corporatization using genetics to the worst.
Drop off for easy harvesting. This would be a disturbing footnote in some corporate lab journal if not for one small detail. The working class of the Outer Worlds Halcyon colony actually eats this stuff. The company proudly calls it sustainable meat production. And in a sense, they're right. It's an endless supply of self-regrowing protein. Each tumor is sliced, processed, and canned as sustenance. Borschtwurst, Borst pockets, cysty chops. These are staple protein sources sold across the colony.
This is almost just as bad as when we were learning about stuff from Cyberpunk. I remember these things. I don't remember these going to there at all. I'm kind of glad I didn't go into that canning facility fully. What is my life? What is my life? I'm gonna be like this for a bit.
A package of cysty pig tumors is literally sold as a ready-to-cook meat sack. CNP's
Why? My life. I'm suffering. No, of course, my suffering is more important than yours.
Factory on Monarch is one of Halcyon's largest food producers.
I really
Officially, they call themselves a proud supplier of hearty fare, baked beans, sausages, and other sustainable meat products. But the crown
I wonder where they get the baked beans from.
Is Borstwurst. The factory foreman, a man who calls himself Slaughterhouse Clive Lumberg, insists that each cyst pig be fed 5 cans of Borstwurst per meal. The pig's hooves are also ground into feed for the next generation, forming a grotesque closed loop of life consuming itself. But don't worry, they don't...
I know pigs eat anything, but that doesn't mean you should feed them meat. Oh, God.
Only eat themselves. Their diets also include factory workers who've been given pink slips. Turn the facility at the right time, and you might still find the bodies of these terminated employees in the pens. Conditions
that was a thing that apparently, like, Mafia did to get rid of bodies sometimes, and other organizations, is just feed them pigs because pigs eat anything. Oh, my God. This really is corporate hell.
Factory aren't all bad, though. Shifts are only 23 hours long, and workers are required to log their progress every 15 minutes. Unless, of course, they'd prefer to join the feed cycle. It's a system so efficient, it's hard to tell when the livestock ends and the workforce begins. The posters for Borst feature a cheerful cartoon pig, with slogans like, it's not the worst unless it's the Borstwurst. CNP even sells the factory byproducts as separate snacks. Deep-fried cysty bits. Described on the label.
I've played this game, and I don't remember all this. I just remember certain parts where I was getting angry because I've dealt with corporate stuff before. But also, there were bits where I'm just like, wow, you're really dying over getting some new toothpaste. Hello, Corn, how have you been?
As the bits left over in the fryer after the tumors are cooked. And maybe you're asking, why does Bubbles here have a name at all? Because handlers are encouraged to form a positive emotional bond with their cysty pigs. That affection allegedly improves the flavor of the tumors. But Bubbles isn't the—
Oh my God! Like, I understand giving an animal a happy life, honestly makes usually the meat taste better or something, but dear God, that's going a bit far. Hello, I've been really good. Well, that's good to hear. 5 crazy, I know.
The exception. He's the blueprint. Because in this colony, every meal is a product. Every
Oh,
bite is
yeah.
a brand. If you can imagine a world in which the mega corporations have replaced effective governance, I know it's hard, but if you really stretch your imaginations, you can imagine life in the outer worlds. And no brand defines that more than Spacer's Choice.
Oh,
Spacer's
yeah.
Choice runs company towns like Edgewater, where workers are paid by Spacer's Choice, live in Spacer's Choice housing, and eat
Oh,
Spacer's
yeah.
Choice food. A full life on the company dole. Their food lineup is the definition of budget-friendly. There's
Oh,
salt
yeah.
tuna, a canned fish product that should be tuna, but often isn't. In
Yeah,
Edgewater's
no.
cannery, they label everything salt tuna, but after decades of overfishing and neglect,
That's why it's called salt tuna instead of tuna.
real salt tuna fish are scarce. So what's actually in those tins?
Yeah.
Well, not fish.
The so-called plague that ravaged
Oh,
Edgewater
God.
turned out to be a severe nutrient deficiency. The town's diet
Oh my
consisted
God!
entirely
So they're just I remember this now. They're just dying of regular lack of vitamins. It's not a medical concern. They're just not getting proper nutrients. Oh
of
God.
its own canned salt tuna and beer. But now it's mostly mushrooms, sawdust, and actual dirt in the cans. The salt tuna
Yeah.
cannery's factory line in Edgewater is a model of efficiency and corner cutting. Sprats, little space rats, can be found scurrying around the cannery floor, and rumor suggests they sometimes become the filling. Spacer's Choice
Not that
denies such claims, of
surprising.
course, though their slogan doesn't exactly inspire confidence. It's less a
try the
reassurance than a confession, wrapped in marketing irony trying to
What was it? What was the?
It's less a reassurance than a confession, wrapped in marketing irony trying to
What was the?
claims,
I don't
of course,
remember
though
though.
their slogan doesn't exactly
You tried the best. Now try the rest.
inspire
Yeah.
confidence. It's less a reassurance than a confession, wrapped in marketing irony
Oh,
trying
yeah.
to convince consumers they're in on the joke instead of the punchline. Despite, or because of the low quality, Spacer's Choice food is everywhere. They sell bread noodles. Note that the spelling
Bread
shares its name with
noodles.
the breadworm, which kind of resembles a baguette, and
I would rather die than eat worms.
tarmac and cheese. A pasta meal boldly advertised as not real tarmac or real cheese. Spacer's Choice
Dear God. Ugh.
also offers terra-fried spratwurst, a local corn
Probably
dog
a
variant
rat.
using the finest herbs and spices to dress
Oh, yeah.
up whatever protein is inside. You could also opt for a frozen dinner that comes in a variety of flavors like
I hate
fried
all-
chicken with mashed spectrum potatoes and
Mashed
spiced mock
Spectrum?
apples, or just stick with the classic Borst loaf. And then to wash it down, there's Zero G Brew, a
Oh,
beer
yeah.
that is cheap and accessible. Or if you're just looking for some good old-fashioned H2O hydration, Spacer's Choice has you covered with its plain and pure water. It's
What?
crisp, it's delicious, it's nutritious. It's water. Now with
Is
11%.
it now with a more natural water flavor? What? You can't even sell people water without adding something to it? Water is one of those things that, oh my God. How do you even do
More
that?
natural water flavoring. And as a bonus, when plain and pure water is consumed, it applies the sugary drink buff. That's some water. The politics
Oh,
behind Spacer's
wow.
Choice food strategy are plain. Keep costs minimal, keep workers just fed enough to continue laboring, and
Yeah.
discourage any alternatives. In Edgewater, when a group of deserters led by Adelaide McDevitt start growing real vegetables in a botanical garden, it undermines Spacer's Choice's control. Fresh produce was not only healthier, it was independent. No surprise, factory
Yeah.
boss Reed Thompson was furious. He derided Adelaide's crop of illegal vegetables and clung to
Illegal
the company
vegetables.
policy, even as his workers starved on nutrient-poor cans. Spacer's
Yeah.
Choice response to malnutrition was not to improve the food, but to
to
tighten
burn.
the definition of illness to avoid admitting their food was the cause. Meanwhile, anyone
yeah.
that sought better food outside of company town was branded a traitor to the board. In
Oh, yeah.
Halcyon, your employer not only pays your wages, but they practically own your stomach.
Oh,
And
yeah.
what if Spacer's Choice's
They
attitude
own you in that game series, quite literally. Because I can't say it on a YouTube video, but yeah, there's a special event
Or
that
this grim
there's a side quest that basically shows they own you. You are seen as company property, and any damage to you is considered damage to company property.
reality, they hide it behind dark humor and propaganda. One Spacer's
yeah.
Choice ad cheerily proclaims, taste the freedom. Freedom in this case means the freedom to choose only what the company provides. Spacer's
yeah.
Choice knows its products are bad and they lean into it. It's funny until you remember real colonists have to live and sometimes die with these products. By
Oh, die,
contrast,
usually.
Auntie Cleo's tries to present an upscale alternative. Food and drugs with a scientific pedigree. Their slogan, repeated in vending machine jingles,
Better
is a
than
confident
nature.
Auntie Cleo, it's better than nature. The implication is that natural food, plain old earth vegetables, vegetables and proteins, not that they exist here anyway, are inferior to Auntie's lab-grown supplement-injected creations.
Yeah,
Auntie Cleo
no.
herself, this matronly figure, is entirely a marketing fabrication. In
Oh,
reality,
yeah.
the public face of Auntie Cleo is an interchangeable role assumed by different executives. Selected
Sounds
from the
about
company's top female scientists and researchers,
Yep.
each new Auntie undergoes extensive facial and cosmetic surgery to match the brand's idealized image.
Oh my god, that's horrifying. In a different kind of way.
Ensuring that no matter who she is, Auntie
She'll
Cleo
always
always
look
looks
the
the same,
same.
smiles the same, and sells the same lie.
Ugh.
So what does better than nature look like on a plate? One offering is Tripicale Pasta Pack, an Auntie Cleo noodle product featuring fun shapes like little spaceships and cysty pigs. It's essentially instant pasta, fortified with who knows what nutrients. They also produce
God.
condiments like ketchup, a ketchup alternative made with presumably synthetic
Ketchup alternative. That's why it's called ketchup.
tomatoes and a secret blend of 37 herbs and spices. Despite the marketing,
37.
Auntie Cleo's has dirty secrets. They have a history
yeah.
of unethical human experimentation in pursuit of high-quality products. We're
Sounds
talking
about right.
dissolving test subjects in acid, feeding
Oh,
human
God.
limbs to raptidons, all to see the effects for new medicinal or food products, so that better than nature slogan takes on a grim cast. Auntie Cleo's
Yeah.
will literally torture people to best Mother Nature. At some point, they supposedly scaled down the testing, mostly because it was just easier to sell untested products and let the
Oh,
customers
God.
be the guinea pigs. In Halcyon, lack of regulation means a company can push something to market if it's profitable. In many ways, Auntie
Oh, yeah.
Cleo stands at the intersection of food and thought control. By deciding what goes into people's bodies, the company maintains order as effectively as any battalion of guns. And now
Oh,
before I
yeah.
tell you about Rizzo's, the brand that makes everything purple, let's all take a quick moment to appreciate today's sponsor,
Okay,
Squarespace. Squarespace is the all-in-one platform that lets you claim a domain, build a beautiful website, and run your business all in one place. Whether you're showing off your
I'm gonna
art,
let him
your
run
writing,
this.
your videos, or your extensive knowledge of fictional
You know how it
pork-based
goes.
food economies, Squarespace has everything you need to make it look good. I've never built a website because I thought you had to look like this to do it. So I was a little nervous when Squarespace asked me if I wanted to give it a shot. I was actually blown away with how easy it was with Squarespace's AI-enhanced website builder called Blueprint to get a fully customized site in just a few steps. I filled out some basic info and bada boom, bada bing, I had a professional website. I think it's
Still,
super
I'm,
cool that I have one spot
feel
where people can
bad for
find my
these
Patreon
people.
and videos and anything else I end up doing. Also, my mom may not be the only one to stumble upon my website.
Really?
Because with Squarespace's built-in SEO tools, every site is optimized with meta descriptions and auto-generated site maps,
God.
so my website can actually show up on search engines. That is pretty neat. But you know what would be even neater? If I could find you on the internet. So how about this? Head to squarespace.com/Bandercoot for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch your masterpiece, use code Bandercoot to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. I want to see those websites, people, so get building. Also, Squarespace wants to see them or they'll never work with me again. Thank you,
Oh my
Squarespace,
God.
for sponsoring this little food enterprise. Now let's cleanse our palate with something sweet, courtesy of Rizzo's. Rizzo's Corporation is all about pleasure and leisure. Rizzo's
What
wants
the
you to
fuck?
actually enjoy
What is on their necks?
something, albeit artificially and totally profit-driven. The flagship
yeah.
flavor of Halcyon is purple berry. This is a completely
God.
engineered fruit that Rizzo's developed to be addictively sweet. The result is a fruit higher in sugar content than any earth berry, but with less
What?
fiber or nutrition to get in the way of that saccharine rush. Purple berry
Oh.
crunch cereal, purple berry munch candies, purple berry
God.
punch, a juice drink, purple berry wine, and Nannerspank, a banana-flavored
Nannerspank?
energy drink. Oh, and let's not forget
Oh,
Lemon
God.
Slap soda, with the tagline, "Slap your whole family tonight with Lemon Slap."
What?
Rizzo's has a presence at leisure locations like the Space Station Resort on Eridanos. Here we see the Purpleberry Orchards,
Dear
doubling
God.
as a nature reserve theme park for tourists. Rizzo's fills a psychological niche. Their sweets and drinks are rewards, coping mechanisms, little sparks
Oh
of
my
joy in
God.
an otherwise bleak existence. Spectrum Vodka is advertised with the slogan, "A glass for every class." The drink is
Oh,
sold in multiple
God.
colors, each one tied to a different rung of the social ladder. The red variety is aimed at the
But they all probably taste the same. They're just different coloring.
working class, cheap, accessible, and proudly mediocre, while Violet is marketed as a premium product for Halcyon's elite.
It's because purple for the longest time was seen as the color of the rich due to how rare it used to be at one point.
Every color of Spectrum Vodka supposedly carries a unique flavor, but the differences are largely a matter of branding. In the end,
Yeah.
Spectrum's colors don't reflect taste or quality, just class. Classed, repackaged as choice. Rizzo's keeps you smiling just long enough not to notice the rot beneath the sugar. After all that sugar, you might start
yeah.
craving something fresh, something green. Unfortunately, in Halcyon, that's harder to find. The
Oh,
board
yeah.
never prioritized shipping viable plant crops on the colony ships, it seems. Instead, it seems they plan to rely on canned goods and later discovered local fungus and algae as substitutes substitutes. Spacer's Choice also got in
yeah.
on the synthetic fruit game. Mock apple is a good example.
Mock
it's a fruit that
apple.
isn't really an apple, and the companies of Halcyon have embraced it in their products.
Dear
the name
God.
itself, Mock, shows an awareness that much of Halcyon's
mocking
food is
an
an
apple.
imitation of Earth fare. Spacer's
Yeah.
Choice also sells this bunch of nanners that look like regular
Ugh, that looks disgusting.
bananas at the top, and then on the bottom it kind of looks like a canid's tail or plumage. So who
Yeah.
knows what genetic engineering witchcraft is happening to make these. Other
Oh,
so-called
yeah.
natural foods include cacao ribs, sourced from the woolly cows raised on Happydale farms, bred from Earth livestock to survive Halcyon's harsh conditions.
Oh.
Woolly cows serve as one of Halcyon's few genuine sources of meat and dairy. Common
Aw.
products include woolly fillet, woolly curds, fresh woolly milk, fresh half-woolly milk, purpleberry
Half-woolly
shake,
milk.
and perhaps the most infamous of
Purpleberry
these is
shake.
cacao milk, whose description gives us a little bit of a window into what
Chocolate
this is.
milk?
We grafted the chocolatiest DNA from CCN76 cacao
What do you mean you grafted chocolate DNA into a cow?
hybrid into a woolly cow, and now you can
Oh
have
my
fresh chocolate milk
God.
whenever you want. It's dairy, it's dessert, and it's genetic engineering, all in one glass. The
I
food of
hate
the
it.
Outer Worlds is one of the richest, strangest aspects of its world building. Underneath all the absurd humor lies a sharp critique of runaway corporate control. The colonists
Yeah.
of Halcyon literally consume their corporate overlords'
chocolate
ideology
milk
with every
cake?
meal.
No,
Each bite
it's not
reinforces
free.
the system. Yet humanity
Nothing in Halcyon is free. There's nothing free here.
persists in little defiant ways. Take Bavardi, the idealistic engineer on your crew. She longs to cook a genuine dustbag casserole to share with the woman she cares about. A tender homemade meal amid all the fake factory processed flavors. The Outer Worlds ultimately plants a seed of hope. That hope is literally embodied by the colony ship, Hope. A vessel of forgotten colonists left drifting on the fringe of the system. Our journey as
Yeah.
players begins by being awoken from that long-lost ship, and the quest to revive the remaining frozen colonists is a direct challenge to Halcyon's status quo. In the face of a society that treats people as expendable cogs in a machine, the game explores the timeless human desires for freedom and dignity. It reminds
Oh,
us that
yeah.
heroes and villains in this world aren't defined by the uniforms they wear or the factions they serve, but by the choices they make. Time and again,
Oh, yeah.
individuals in Halcyon are given a chance to do what's right in spite of the system. The Outer Worlds emphasizes that individual action matters. A single
True.
person armed with conviction can spark change even against overwhelming odds. In the end, this dystopia offers an earnest and uplifting message. No matter how oppressive the machinery of power, hope can ignite a brighter future for everyone. Bon appetit.
Not wrong, but still very interesting. I know it's gagging through most of that because a lot of it is disgusting. It's still very interesting, at least in my eyes. In some ways, but yeah. So, everyone, if you like what I'm doing here, maybe you like, comment, and subscribe to help us, you know. I'll probably see you guys all later. But, just remember, look on the packaging before you eat something. Just to, you know, just to be sure of yourself, you know? Just be careful with what you eat, everyone. And yeah, I'll see you guys all later, and take care of yourselves. Bye.